with the SEC. Probably the closest of the three matchups I think that we're going to see. Number 14, LSU. Number 1, Georgia. The Dogs are 17.5-point favorites. Exactly the line you want to see in a conference championship game. If you choose to watch this, it's Saturday, CBS, 3 p.m. is the kick. I I feel like LSU. Listen, that was a bad loss to A&M last week, and I know you guys covered that on last week's episode. I haven't gotten a chance to weigh in on that horrendous loss for LSU.
Really bad.
You're playing for your season to be the first two-loss champion or two-loss team that has a chance to go to the playoff, and you didn't show up against an A&M team that is young and banged up, and so really really tough loss there for me. Listen, it's the same old Brian Kelly, man. He has some good moments. He does. And he finds a way to be nationally relevant, but when it really matters, tell me what he's done. Tell me what he's done. So anyway, that's my point on that. I do think LSU probably covers the 17.5-point spread. Jaden Daniels should be healthy. And I know he got banged up at the end of that A&M game, but he came back in. And I wondered if his season was over. It wasn't. I think this LSU team is mad, and they've truly got nothing to lose, right? At this point, they might as well just go no holds barred against Georgia. That Georgia offense continues to be one of the most inconsistent things that we've seen, even though they end up rallying in most second halves and putting up numbers to be one of the top 5 offenses in the country. LSU might not give them that chance to fully come back or hang around if Daniels and company are running the football, are passing it downfield. So I think Georgia still finds a way to win because that's what they've done all year. But give me the Tigers plus 17.5. That's a large point spread.
It is large. I'm going to agree with you on that one. LSU plus 17.5. Look, they're going to make a point. It's just going to be a week late, right? They should be in a position to make their case for the playoff, but they squandered that opportunity, right? They got dismantled by a bad A&M team a week ago. As a bad A&M team, you went to their house and you didn't stand a chance for some reason. You just came out super flat, and it didn't work. Instead, they're going to come out. They're going to, kind of push the Dogs. I think they ultimately lose this game, but they will cover the spread. Georgia's a very good team. They just haven't quite found that killer instinct outside of Tennessee. They haven't looked like they've really wanted to be on the field, like they really care. And I guess that kind of makes sense for a team, defending a championship. You go through your regular schedule, and the other team across from you isn't nearly as good as you, and so you don't really show up for that one. But man, I haven't seen the killer instinct, so I don't know that they have it in them. I think they're going to need to dig deep if they want to prepare to repeat as champions, and I think they need to find that a little bit this week so that they don't come out flat-footed against, like you were saying, Mitch, like a USC if they end up shaking out that way. I think it's a big bounce-back week for Daniels, who did not play his best game in College Station a week ago. I think that defense got pushed around last week, and I think they're going to take it personally. And so, yeah, I'm going to take LSU plus 17.5. I think they're going to keep it really close here, ultimately lose. And guys, how about this for a possible rematch? LSU could get a Sugar Bowl bid and rematch with Kansas State in a bowl game this year, just a couple miles away from Houston. It could be Houston to New Orleans, not, same area of the country, where they just go from going Texas Bowl foes to now Sugar Bowl foes a year later. That could be a fun one to watch.
Yeah, much different situation for
Much
LSU
different.
in this one.
You need more than
Weren't they down to
30 scholarship players.
Yeah, it was an interesting one to watch last year. But
Yeah.
listen, I'm right there with you guys. I'm taking LSU plus the points as well, mostly because I don't think Georgia has anything to play for. And they were in the exact same situation this time last year, where, yeah, sure, you could arguably have the easier matchup if you win the SEC championship game, but it didn't matter. Like, so Georgia could lose, they'll still make the playoff. Seeding might matter a little bit more this year. I don't know if you'd rather play TCU or USC or Ohio State, but yeah, Georgia really doesn't have a lot to play for, and that's why I'm going to roll with LSU. I think, like you guys said, last week left a very bad taste in their mouths, and they're probably going to want to prove that that's not who they are, and just have a better taste in their mouths going into bowl season. So I'll roll with that narrative street. I will say, if you're looking for a narrative to roll with Georgia, their fans on Twitter seem very, very convinced that the offense has been intentionally holding stuff back ever since the
Sandbagging.
Tennessee game. I don't know if you guys have caught
Sure.
wind of that on Twitter, but Obviously, when your offense is underperforming, it's because you're holding stuff back. There's no other explanation.
Of
What is
course.
the strategy here?
Sandbagging, of course. Yeah,
It
Brian
worked. I
Kelly.
mean, if they're right, it worked. So
What? Well, they say that, and either they just don't get it or they're saying it tongue in cheek because Georgia has a top 5 offense. They're not. Yeah, like I said, they're inconsistent, but they put points on the board. Like they're
yeah,
12-0, guys. They're 12-0. So interesting sandbagging strategy. Maybe they go into hyperdrive mode. Maybe Staquavius Bennett makes a return and throws for 5 touchdowns, rushes for 3 more. I don't know. I'd love to live in that world.
last time he was in Atlanta, he did ball out, and we thought that he might be a Heisman contender. So
Sure.
See, you say that he's got what 16 passing touchdowns on the year. 5 touchdowns would be an incredible game for him. I mean, obviously that'd be an incredible game for anybody, but for a guy that would be, I don't know, adding 25% to his touchdown
Sure.
numbers, that'd be very interesting. So
Nice little
it'd be
gain in
fun
the
to watch. I hope it happens. I just wouldn't count on that.
nice little gain in the daily portfolio there. I agree. Georgia's I think Georgia's the best team in the country, the most complete team in the country, but they're not without their issues as well. So I think going into this week, I was pretty sure when that line came out, we were all going to be on the Bayou Bengals plus the points, and indeed we are.
Gracious him! How about that?